and starting your business in the right way a year from now. It's about kicking off and starting it in the right way today, tomorrow, the next day. So property sourcing is the entry point to every single property strategy there is. And the reason for that is because whether you're sourcing a rent-to-rent, whether you're sourcing a development, whether you're sourcing a service apartment, you have to find it, research it, secure it, every single one of those things before you can actually go on and set up a business. So that's what we're going to kick off today. We're going to talk about how you do that and some of the steps that you can take to start introducing sourcing into your business. For those of you that are here, there's an email address on one of the flyers that you can give them as you walk in the room. If you email that kelly@cogito-work, I'm going to send you a PDF, which is a mind map of basically a roadmap of how to take a deal from start to finish, all different types of strategies, including things like compliance, legals, marketing, branding, negotiations, sales, and everything else is included in the process. So please send your email to that, and I'll make sure this comes out to you next week. So who am I? What qualifies me to stand in to you today? How many of you have seen me speak before? Wow, brand new to most of you. Okay, so I started my property journey officially about 10 years ago. I'm a traditional buy-to-let landlord. I've got buy-to-let portfolio in Milton Keynes. And about 2.5 years ago, 4 years ago, I got married, went on my honeymoon, and sat and wanted to do fun stuff. We're talking about should we go travelling, should we have children, all the things you do when you get married, right? And every single conversation you were having came back to, we've got no money. At the time, I was in about £60,000 worth of debt, credit card debt, good debt. My 0% clipped off, and I was really struggling to maintain it. I don't know if any of you can relate to that at all. It wasn't a very complex. We've got some heads nodding. I remember it honestly very, very well. It's not a fun place to be, and actually at that point, I decided I need to do something about this. I need to learn something new. I need to introduce something else to my life that's actually going to make a difference. That can do it quickly, because I'm incredibly impatient, and would actually make enough of a difference that I was going to be able to just shift my life from where it was to where I wanted it to be. I decided that rent-to-rent was the strategy that I was going to go for. How many of you have heard of rent-to-rent? Okay. So for those of you that have heard or haven't heard, does anyone want to tell me what is rent-to-rent? Shout out.
Rent it from the landlord to somebody else.
Exactly. You rent it from a landlord, and then you get permission to rent it out to somebody else. Do you want me to grab that? No. You got it, yeah? That is where you rent a house, you then ask for permission to rent it out to somebody else. It's basically subletting. That was a strategy for me, and the reason for that, like the guys at the beginning said, sometimes we think that property you need to have tens of thousands of pounds to get into it. You don't. So for me, coming from a point where I had £60,000 worth of debt, to the next point, I needed to pick a strategy that would give me cash flow quickly, but wouldn't cost me a huge amount of money to get into it. So rent-to-rent was the strategy that I chose. In the November of 2015, I started sourcing rent-to-rent, and I'm going to talk to you about what that actually is in a minute. In the January of that year, I realised that actually I wasn't too bad at it. I was getting lots of leads, lots of landlords saying yes to me, and I couldn't do all of the deals myself because they were in different parts of the country. I was getting leads in London, Manchester, Liverpool, all over, and I'm from Milton Keynes. And a little tip for you, if you are going to run a rent-to-rent portfolio, try and do it within about a 45-minute radius of where you live, because otherwise it's really hard to manage. What that means is you've got these deals here, you don't want them, so what do you do with them? What I then learned is that you can actually package these up and sell them as contracts to other investors. So those of you that are here in London, I might get a deal that's in London that will give you X number of profit per month, per year, and I can agree that with a landlord over maybe a 3, 4 or 5 year term. I would then package that up and sell that to someone like you to actually take that contract and run with that house and make the profit. And I will get paid a fee for that. So in January of 2016, I started my sourcing and packaging business, and that's kind of what I've been doing ever since. Now I have a sourcing business, I have a relocations company, I've got a rent-to-rent portfolio, and we are now doing developments in Milton Keynes as well. So it's been a fun couple of years. Next slide, please. 27 months actually. So I contribute to the HMO magazine. I'm one of only 2 accredited sourcing trainers under the Arla Property Mark brand in the country. I've talked for some of the best events in the world, in the country, property events. I run a training company now and all the other property businesses as well. I was also nominated for Property Investor of the Year last year for the Property Investor Award. So that's what qualifies me to talk to you today, I guess, is I want to share a little bit of what I've done in the last 27 months that has taken me from, where you guys say that some of you are now, to actually being in a really different position. And my life's pretty fun now. It's not the same as it was. I've cleared my debt, and it was everything I'm going to talk to you today that's allowed me to do that. So what is property sourcing? The activity of searching, discovering, researching, analysing and securing property deals. It's the sourcing part, whether you're sourcing to keep it or sourcing to sell it on, that process is the same. The only thing that changes is the different types of strategies. You have to appraise them in a different way. So a rent-to-rent, you would do the numbers in a different way to what you would do in development, for example. But the actual process of property sourcing is the same. It's just a system, a series of step-by-step process that you have to follow. Okay, so I just mentioned to keep or to sell. If you're sourcing to keep, that's obviously where you're going to be building your own portfolio. And if you're sourcing to sell, that's what I mentioned about packaging on for a fee to somebody. Okay? Okay, so if you're sourcing to keep, you've got you. You are the investor in that relationship. You're going to be taking that house on, you're going to be running it, you're going to be buying it, or renting it, or building it, whatever it might be. Okay? If you're sourcing to sell it on, there's a little triangle. So you have the property owner, or the landowner, you have you, the sourcer, in the middle, and then you have an investor who will pay you a fee for that. Now my fees average between £3,500 and £5,000 per deal. And in 2016 I built just under £100,000 packaging up deals for other people. Because I couldn't do those deals myself because I didn't have the money to at the time. And what you're able to do is monetize everything that you can't physically keep yourself. It's a really cool strategy. Has anyone done that before? Packaged anything up? Sold anything on? Couple? Okay. Does that sound interesting to anybody? Yeah, lots of smiley faces. So, the 3 things I want to talk to you about today are the things that you need to perfect to be able to source, whether you want to source to keep or source to package. These are the 3 key things that you really need to get good at and definitely introduce into your business so that you can actually kick it off effectively. So, who knows Tony Robbins or has heard of Tony Robbins? Yeah? Now, love him or hate him, we all have mixed opinions of Tony Robbins, and that's fine. He says that if you want to be successful at something, find somebody that's already successful at it and model what they do. It seems quite simple, right? But quite often what happens is we try and reinvent the wheel a million times. We take what's working and we jump out of the starting gates going, I've got this great idea and I'm going to do it this way instead. Actually, if you just model what is already working, you will see quicker, more successful results sooner. When I first started, I had a mentor. He's told me do this, this and this. When I started to actually just follow the rules that he'd given me, I started to see results much better. Thank you very much. So the system I follow is what I call sourcing made simple system. Setting up, becoming compliant. There's a really, really big push on this in the industry at the moment. You have to follow certain rules when you set up your business. You have to be compliant with HMO, you have to be compliant with data protection. There's lots and lots of things you need to think about with that. Once you're set up, you then start to actually do the sourcing, which we're going to get into in a second. You make offers, you secure the property, then if you're going to sell it, if you're going to secure it for yourself, at that point you just start running the house or the project. If you're going to package it up, then you need to brochure it up, you need to market it out to an investor list, you need to then secure your investor, coordinate all that process, and take it right through to the completion stage. Actually, if you model a system that's already working, you're going to be able to do that far more efficiently than you could start to do, which is what I started to do when I first So the first thing we need to start doing for sourcing houses is we need to speak to people that have houses, right? Landlords and agents are the most obvious choice here. Now, who's ever rung an agent? No, that's not true, because there's at least 2 people in the room that I know has definitely called agents before. Okay, and who's ever rung a landlord? Okay. For those of you that are kind of kicking off with this, why have you never called an agent? Usually the answer is because they're a little bit scary, they know more about the industry than me, I'm a bit nervous about it. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, got some rolling heads now, giving me the answer. Yes. Whenever you ring anybody, okay, you need to start with the understanding what it is you're trying to do. There's a guy called Simon Sinek who I love. I think he's an incredibly intelligent guy. This link here, if you guys can see that, there's a video on YouTube, it's about 18 minutes long. It's really worth watching because what it will do is help you really dissect the reasons that you're doing what you're doing. It's only when you really understand, and what I'm not talking about here is understanding your why from like a cliche perspective, what drives you and those things. What I'm talking about is what does your business do? Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? What that allows you to do is when you pick up the phone to an agent or to a landlord, is you can really qualify tangible benefits for them to work with you. So what is the reason for them to working with you instead of anybody else? You need to understand that and understand your business before you can really communicate that effectively to a customer. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? So definitely jump on that link and have a watch of that video then. The quickest possible route to your first deal. Now, there's lots of very clever ways that you can do marketing, inbound, outbound, online, offline, networking events like this. There's loads of different tactics and techniques that you can use. But in my experience, the quickest possible route to your first deal is to use broadcast type marketing or sales. To pick up the phone and speak to people. To get out like you guys have done today, to events like this, network, talk to people. In this room, there'll definitely be people that will buy deals, people that can find deals, and there might even be your customer potentially in here that wants to give you a deal. Get out and talk to people, because that is the only way you're going to be able to build your profile, build your relationships, and actually grow your business and push it forward. Who is terrified of cold calling? So one of my mentees is up here, it's on my mentorship. She's stuck her hand up, but I forced her to make her anyway. So who else is frightened of cold calling? Why are you frightened of cold calling? You don't know what you're going to get. Absolutely.
Whether or not it's going to be, as you said, cold or warm.
Yeah.
Your answer is your expectation rather than what you actually receiving.
Yeah. Absolutely. So for those that can hear the lady at the front, she said it's not really knowing what's going to be said at the other end and how to kind of prepare for that and what the expectation is, and actually that starts to make everybody's stomach churn most of the time. To be honest, when I first started, it made mine churn as well. That's a really normal way to feel when you're picking up the phone to somebody you don't know. There are the few people in the world that are super confident about ringing anybody, but not everybody. So what do you do? Practice, absolutely, definitely. Really, I believe that the only difference between me and where you are now is 2.5 years of practice. That's it. I was sat in an event just like this not that long ago. The first one is always the most scary, always. What I tend to try and get my students to do is to actually do them in batches. So that when you pick up the phone on the first thing on a Monday morning and you're kind of like weekended and everything's just a bit fuzzy, by the time you get to lunchtime, calls them easier again. How many of you are working in this business or trying to start this business around a full-time job? Yeah, a lot of it. That's where I was as well. So I was a consultant, I was a sales consultant, and I also had a business that I ran. So I actually had 2 jobs technically, and I started this business around this. I then sold my other business because it's way more money than that did. That business taught me every way not to run a business actually. This can definitely be done around other commitments, whether you're working, whether you're a carer, whatever it might be, whether you're at school, whether you're like 18, you're still studying, and you're doing that full time. This stuff can be done around this thing. I think fundamentally the there are some underlying rules to everything you do when you're on the phone when you're making a cold call. Doing what you say you're going to do is a really important one of them. If you're trying to build relationships with agents, call them back when you say you're going to. Don't mislead them with who you are when you do it. If you are sourcing on behalf of an investor, don't build a relationship with an agent and tell them that it's going to be you that's buying the house. Because when you come to actually introduce a third party, it just piss them off. Those sorts of things are absolutely essential to building good relationships with agents and landlords. And track your activity. I'm going to talk about tracking in a minute, so I'm going to just skip by that, but if I can have the next slide, please. Sometimes picking up the phone in the first place is really terrifying. So what I wanted to give you guys today is the first 3 questions that I ask whenever I pick up the phone to anybody for a few different strategies. Because if you've got the first 3 questions and you can get them talking, the rest of it kind of flows. It's about that immediate, what do I say, how do I introduce myself, what should I do? So, let's say you found a house on Rightmove, okay, and with these ones, this is, actually not Rightmove, this is direct to vendor. So you've found a house on Gumtree that's been advertised for sale, let's say. I would ring the number, and I'd argue that if they're advertising with their phone number, for somebody to call them to buy their house, that's not a cold call. Yeah, I'd argue that is a very warm call. You have a fix for their problem. They have a problem, you have a solution. Ring them up and tell them what you can do to help them. So, is it still available? Why do we need to ask that question first? Yes, correct. Well done. Because there's a number of people I hear that actually forget to ask this. Spend 5 minutes talking and then realise the house is gone. Actually, it's 5 minutes you can spend on the phone with another potential client. How quickly are you looking to sell? Why is this important? Say again? Yes, seems how desperate they are. To see how desperate they are. Motivation. In this industry, motivation is often the thing that you need to choose the type of offer, type of structure that you can give them that is the right one for them. Why does motivation matter? They're distressed. Yes. Absolutely. What lady said is that if they're distressed, they're highly motivated, they need to fix that problem, what that means is if you can give them a solution that fixes that problem, even if it is a creative one, like an option, or something like that, they're more likely to say yes to you. Now, there is an underlying rule in everything we do, which is we are not there to screw every single penny out of the deal for ourselves. Okay, I know there are sources out there that don't necessarily follow that rule. It's all about creating a win-win-win all the way through. Make sure that you get paid well, your investor makes some money, and they get fixed their problem. But it's about being fair and remembering that it's a human being business and we're in business with people, so it's not about ripping people off. Okay, and the third one, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you like to see happen? What do you think this question does? This one, say it. Whoever that was. So, what this does is it opens the dialogue. Because we're not asking closed questions, we're asking open questions. It forces them to start telling me what they need. Now, if I say to you, I need this, 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 and this, and you can give me this, 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 and this, the likelihood is that I'm going to say yes to you, right? So what would you like to see happen in an ideal world? They do a lot of the work for you. They tell you what you need to do to structure to get it right for them. Rent-to-rent. So, those of you that are brand new to rent-to-rent, with rent-to-rent you make your money in the length of your contract. So actually, most rent-to-rents don't break even for the first 6 to 12 months. If it's for you to keep, then we would never really take a deal that doesn't break even before 6 months. If it's for you to sell on, so your investors break even, you've got a fee to factor into that setup cost. And we'd never sell a deal that doesn't break even before 12 months. So the first year is kind of a non-thing. Year 2, we start to make a bit of money. Year 3 is where it gets interesting. 4 and 5 is where it's amazing. So what we're always trying to do with rent-to-rent is secure 3 to 5 year terms, really, in an ideal world. Now, is the property still available? Same as the other situation. Would you be happy with a long-term tenant? At this point, if they are going travelling for 6 months and they're just renting their house out temporarily, you're going to really quickly know that there's no point wasting any time with that person because they can't give you what you need, which is 3 to 5 years. So are you happy with a long-term tenant? We're already pre-framing with that particular client that everything you're going to talk to them about is going to be long-term, because that's how you make your money. That's the service you're offering them. If that's not right for them, you can get it out of the way straight away. And the third one, can I confirm you're happy with a company let? With rent-to-rent, ultimately, you're going to be running a business. So that landlord or that agent needs to be comfortable that you're not a normal tenant, you're not an AST tenant. You're going to be signing a company let or a common law tenancy, and you're going to be running that house in a different way. You're going to be needing permission to sublet, which an AST doesn't necessarily give you. So by asking these 3 questions straight off the bat, what you're doing is actually setting the scene really well. If you approach this and you pretend like you're a normal tenant, and then you go and see it and you build a relationship and they want to rent it to you, and then you say, oh, and by the way, I'm a company and I'm going to do this, you piss them off, you lose your lead. It's really important you do this right from the beginning. I mentioned activity tracking. So it doesn't really matter whether you're doing this full-time, part-time. Tracking your activity is a really important thing. And the reason for that is if you've got no idea what you're doing at one end in terms of numbers of calls and what your results are at this end, you've got no way really of seeing, one, if you're getting any better, or two, where the bottleneck is, where is it, what bit do you need to improve in your own skills to be able to see better results. So if you're making, in this example, 57 calls a week, and you're doing 2 deals a week, that'd be an amazing month, right? I'd be very, I don't do that very often. But if you have no idea how many calls you've made in a month, and actually some months you do 1 deal, some months you do 3, some months you do none,